school here. I started in 1951, graduated in 59.
September 1959, my husband and I registered in this church.
But I started here as music director.
Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end.
Hello, Father Steve Breck here. On January 27th, 2024, marks the 75th anniversary of the founding of Saint Mary Magdalene Parish. It all began after World War II when the population in Lake County boomed and Bishop Edward Hoban named Father Harold Laubacher pastor of a new church in Willowick. On January 27, 1949, Father Laubacher commissioned the newly formed parish as Saint Mary Magdalene, which was named after his own mother. On May 1, 1949, the groundbreaking ceremony commenced to build a 600-seat church and an adjoining 8-classroom school. By September 1949, the cornerstone of Saint Mary Magdalene Church was laid, with the ceremony being conducted in the rain. It was decided that 4 Ursuline sisters and 2 lay teachers would staff the school of 199 pupils, and classes would begin on October 21st, 1949. The parish rectory, located on Vine Street and East 321st, was ready for use on February 10, 1950. Bishop Hoban came to Saint Mary Magdalene on September 17, 1950 for the dedication ceremony of the newly completed church. The community of Willowick grew in the 1950s, where they saw massive population growth, and so did the parish of Saint Mary Magdalene. The school building had to be enlarged several times, adding new classrooms in 1951, 54, and 55. By 1956, the church that sits 600 people was at capacity with 6 Sunday masses. It was decided that the church would be expanded by stretching the Vine Street entrance and adding new pews to seat 400 more people. 1957, 7 additional classrooms were added, bringing the total to 26, and student population grew to 1,350 students. St. Mary Magdalene became the largest elementary school in Lake County. The beginning of the 1960s continued to see student enrollment increase year over year, with 11 sisters and 19 lay teachers on hand to administer 1,850 students in 1963. During the 1960s, a faculty residence for our dedicated sisters was erected and a larger rectory was built, thus ending the expansion era of Saint Mary Magdalene Parish. On September 10, 1968, Father Laubacher retired as pastor emeritus and was replaced by Pastor Father Joseph Charnitsky. On January 27, 1974, St. Mary Magdalene celebrated its 25th anniversary with a Mass celebrated by Auxiliary Bishop William Cosgrove and founding pastor Father Laubacher and present pastor Father Charnitsky on hand for the momentous occasion. And now let's hear from some of our parishioners sharing their memories being here at St. Mary Magdalene Parish.
Father Charnitsky was the pastor at the time, aided by his able-bodied 4-footed red dog.
Yes, Seamus.
Seamus.
His name was Seamus, and he was a beautiful, beautiful
Irish
setter. When he would visit the classrooms unannounced, and the door of the classroom would open, and the dog would race, and he loved children, and the nuns had no control, you know, and the kids would just think that was just super. They couldn't wait for the dog to come, and the nuns were beside themselves because then after Father would leave, they'd have to calm the kids back down again. But the kids really looked forward to it, and he was the parish dog.
Elaine Miller and I coached girls basketball.
Okay.
When you could only go halfway and you had to stop. You could only play half court. It's the rules for the girls, us tender girls. Sports was a big thing. Our competitor was Mount Carmel. And then we had the Pee-wee football. And they'd send these little guys in, so loaded with equipment. And this one little fellow goes, "Coach, which way should I run?" So all those were good memories.
I was teaching the year I got married, and I wanted, Father Bowles was a young priest at our parish, and he used to bowl on a bowling league with Jim, so we thought he could have our wedding, and Father Laubacher said, "I'm your pastor and your boss, and I marry my teachers." So Father Laubacher presided, and it was beautiful. It was the long aisle. We used to have the longest aisle in the Diocese of Cleveland, so you got to walk down that long aisle. And I invited 52 kids to the wedding, and a great wedding picture with all these little kids around me, which is really fun to look at because those kids are now 60, somewhere 65, 66 years old, and yeah. So and then I was having a baby every year, so I taught preschool, and then Jim had the massive stroke. And Saint Mary Magdalene's had a youth group. Father Joe Williams was the youth minister. And I mean, in a very short time, life went from a normal family with 3 little kids to a year and a half in a hospital, and loss of job and no income. And so Father Joe Williams had the teenagers do Jim Beer's walk, and hundreds of teenagers started at Shoregate. It was a snowy day. They raised funds, and they walked all through Willowick, and at one point they came walking by my house. And to see hundreds of teenagers on a cold, snowy day, cheers for the Beers. I mean, I could live to be 1,000, and I could never, ever say enough thank yous to this parish for who it is and who it's made me to be. I'm just so grateful.
And I went to Mass. I was on that side, and one Mass I went to, they had the first Holy Communion, okay? And here I see this one taller girl, shorter girl, with the communion crest and everything on, okay? Well, I find out that was her.
I was 12 years old, 13 years old.
And her mom, they came from PA and stuff, you know, and they lived on Waverly, so she wanted to get her kids to have the first communion. Same thing here. You know, I was 6 years or 7 years old, you know, when we made our communion here.
I was on St. Vincent de Paul food bank. I was very, very active in that. I used to pick up bread every Sunday till probably a couple of years ago at the Giant Eagle. We used to hold refrigerators. I had a refrigerator in my car one time. Christmas tree. Somebody called and said, "Would you say, Mr. Paul, like a Christmas tree?" So I said, "Yeah, we'll go over." I had a pretty good sized car at that time. It was a crossover. And we went to this house and got that tree. That thing was about 20 foot high. 2 of us could already pick it up. I said, "Jimmy," he said, "Hey, Jimmy, he'd take anything." He said, "Yeah, we'll get it. We'll hold it in the car." But he took it upstairs somehow. And
I tell people all the time, I could not be the deacon that I am, what little I do, whatever, without a good example of the people that I got to know in this parish. and the best day of my life is marrying this woman. But this is second to that, sure. But it was similar to that day, you know, where you don't, you know, it's a good day, but you wish you could remember every little aspect. But as a whole, you know, it was a happy time.
I remember our family. So much of our family was here for the Mass, and I was distributing communion. And I just remember I cried with every person that came forward to receive the Eucharist, made me cry, because I was just so thankful that they were here for us, and they had blessed us with this whole process of the diaconate. It was really very touching for us.
Here I was music director from 1987 to November of 1999. I served here, and there were just tons of memories. All the good people, all of the so many priests and nuns, people on the pastoral team over the years as I rotated through. When I started here as music director, it was Father McDonough, Father Sturr, Father Kropak, Father Elmer, and Sister Carol Ann and Sister Virginia were the pastoral team that I started under. And I have to say the biggest influence here was Jim McGinnis, who really encouraged me. I would be in this profession, and I certainly minister the church if it wasn't for all that Jim taught me and all that Jim encouraged me.
And I met a lot of wonderful Christian people here, and I enjoy coming to 9 o'clock Mass because everybody's so friendly, and we pray together. You know, we pray together and everything, and it makes my whole day. I just change when I go back home. I'm ready to go. It's nice to come into the church in the morning and say good morning to everybody and bless yourself. You know, you're all set to go. Yeah, It's just a wonderful feeling. Yeah, it takes away all the nonsense.
Yeah. As I said, I can't say it enough for the people of this parish. And they changed my view of what church is and what church can be.
What I like about Saint Mary Magdalene, I guess I just like the not only the fact that I've been here for so many years, because I just like the warm feeling that I get when I get here. It's probably because I've been here so many years, but it's just so homey. It feels like this is the place that I should be, and I feel very not only spiritual, but the people. I mean, the people that find us, and certainly the priests that we've had, they certainly help, and especially the present one we have, Father Brick.
Congratulations, Saint Mary Magdalene Parish, on your 75th anniversary. It is an honor and a privilege to share with you this wonderful milestone in our parish story. And may God continue to bless and strengthen us in the years to come.